The analog voltmeter is good for everyday testing, but is not as precise as, say, a digital voltmeter. A rechargeable battery would be like nickel metal hydride, lithium ion if you charge them carefully, or nickel cadmium. Non-rechargeable batteries would be carbon zinc, silver oxide like hearing aid batteries, or mercury batteries. Nope. And a storage battery does not want to be driven much below 10.5 volts. The advantage of the old nickel cadmium battery is high current capabilities, high discharge current. Boy, the old days of NICADs, people put that handheld battery in their pocket with some quarters and dimes. You'd see smoke pouring out of their pocket. Guy stripping off his clothes in the middle of the street. Yeah, they can really start a fire. What is that conversion of sunlight over to electricity called? Photovoltaic. Right. And each cell is about a half a volt each. Never run your radio off of the accessory plug because the wires are generally too small. And you should run your red and black wires directly to your battery, positive and negative. Where's the fuses be? Right there at the battery. Now I know your radio, red and black wires come with a fuse, but they're not going to protect beyond them going to your battery. And that going through the firewall, that's where we see a lot of potential for having it short out. You short out a good healthy battery, and generally you'll be calling on the captain here to put out your fire. Is that right?
That's correct.
Good. I want to put a little plug in there. Captain of the Santa Ana Fire Department putting out the fire. All right, this finger,
Number one.
show me a resistor. Yeah. How about, with two fingers, a variable resistor? With two hands, a capacitor? Yeah, very good, that's good. With with one hand, an antenna. An antenna with two broken elements? Earth ground. Earth ground is like a shovel. And the chassis ground is, look at these examiners, they're like looking at it. Everybody go back and wave 3 fingers to your examiner. There we are. Let's see. A switch is like this. Yeah, switch. A fuse. Hold on. Fuse. A battery is a big plate and a small one. And I don't think we can do a transformer. What do the two lines mean in between the transformer? Iron core. All right, you're going to do fine. They're either going to ask you a fixed resistor, a single cell battery, NPN transistor, variable resistor, transformer, single pole switch. They're going to ask you one of them. If you had, you're going to do fine.
Is there any chance we can do
Yeah, there you go. All right. Resistors and inductors add up in series. Just the sum of them. Capacitors add up in parallel. Think of CAPS, parallel in series for capacitors. All right. And they're going to give you some questions about inductors in series. No problem. Add them up. They give you about 2 inductors of the same value in parallel. It's going to be just half. 2 inductors of the same value in series. It's going to be double. If you have no idea, go for answer B. Unit of resistance or reactance is the ohm. That's right. And what kind of deal would have reactance in it? What circuit? Reactance. Inductive reactance would be a coil. Capacitive reactance would be a capacitor.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Repeat that one more time.
Repeat that one again.
Say it again, Gordo.
Say it again.
Say it again.
The coil.
Oh, the coil is an inductor for inductive reactance, and a capacitor for capacitive reactance. How'd I do?
Fine.
All right, a good grounding. Every station should be well grounded to reduce interference, reduce the likelihood of electrical shocks. to reduce the likelihood of RF burns from the microphone to your daughter's braces. All of those will be mitigated with good grounding. At radio frequencies, we ground with wide copper strap. If you have telephone interference from your neighbor, show them your radio license to transmit and tell them, do they have a license to talk on the phone? That rarely works, so you may want to get snap-on filters for their corded telephone systems. Normally you're not going to interfere with cordless or cellular phones, but you can get it's called an RFI filter that goes on the affected telephone.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because the corded phones, that long wire going to wherever it goes to acts like an antenna. Yeah, little cell phones and cordless phones with a teeny antenna won't even hear it. Page 143. If somebody has a PA system and they hear this on the PA, it's probably you transmitting what type of mode? Single sideband. Because a public address system or someone's audio hi-fi setup do not have a detector to make it clear. So it sounds like distorted speech from a PA system. Halfway dipole, 2468, how do we calculate? 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz. And then to get a quarter wave antenna, what do you do with your answer?
Divide it by 2.
Divide it in half. Put that antenna up as high as possible because a halfway dipole down within feet of the ground will have a near vertical incident skywave, NVIS. NVIS. The advantage of the NVIS is it lets you work over very short distances via skywave, maybe over a mountain range. The disadvantage is you're not going to work stations a long way away. Beam antennas are called Yagis, and normally the reflector is the longest part of the Yagi. The directors are the shortest part of the Yagi, and never aim the Yagi at your neighbor's house. To make that beam antenna more effective, you could come to larger diameter elements that would increase the bandwidth. And some hams have elements that are like sewer pipes, and they mount this on their house, and they wonder why they have no fans of them in the neighborhood. There's quad antennas, log periodic antenna. That's one that Walter had. There it is. But the log periodic antenna has wide bandwidth. Log periodic, wide bandwidth. Capacity hat. That's that funny thing we put on the top of our antenna. And the more that you have on top of your antenna, the better it is to be a ham. Because you know you have arrived when you pull into the club's parking lot and everybody gathers around your car going, what the hell is that? I don't care if it works or not, they are impressed. So I mean, hang everything on top of your car and you'll be looking good. The transformer